What's up, otakus? Happy Friday. I'm jumping on a little late. It's been a busy week, and summer's winding down. Technically, it's I think wound down. Back to a lot of kids are going back to school. I know back to school started for a lot of people in Washington this week. My wife and son get back from Japan. They've been gone the entire summer, enjoying, Japan. I mean, Japan's a great place to enjoy. But they're coming back tomorrow, so I'll be picking them up at the airport in the morning, and life will just go back to normal. And I think I've mentioned, I'm just just the drive to pick up books is not really there. Although we did stop in at Half Price Books, and I picked up five books that I've been kind of wanting to add to the collection. One is not really one I was wanting to add, but it was such a great deal, I couldn't really leave it there, so we picked it up. But yeah, it's a 5-book haul. We spent $13. I got a lot of value out of this particular haul. So we'll go over the Half Price Books haul in just a moment. I do want to kind of give you an update on plans for the collection. What's up, people? I think next, so the plan, first of all, I am swamped in terms of space. I've got about 100 bags and boards coming. Comic Clear. I think it's Comics Clear, or it's Clear Collectibles. Clear Comic Collectibles. Yeah, it's called Clear Comic Collectibles. I love their stuff. Their clear backing boards are what you want. And they pair them with just like kind of sturdy regular bags, and Mylar, like thicker 2 millimeter Mylar bags. And I've been getting the 2 millimeter Mylar bags and making these top loaders slabs. It's really, really nice for showing off books. I've seen the videos for Clear Comic Capsule, and I think that's a great product. I really think it's a great product, but you're paying $9 for that, versus you're paying like less than $2 for this setup. So I just figure, that Comic Clear, as nice as it is, you have to kind of put a raw comic in there to show the front and back. But they recommend just putting it in a bag and board. That means the back's not visible. Not that the back is all that. There's not really much to look at in the back, but it is cool. I mean, you can kind of look at the front and back. Some of these covers, have nice art on the back, or they're wraparounds or something. In those instances, yeah, you really want the clear backing boards. But I just feel like, I can take this out. I can read it if I want, although I'm not going to do that. And just the cost performance of this setup is fine for me. I don't need a $9. Maybe at some point, some of my bigger books, I'll get a couple and kind of slab them with maybe a clear backing board from Clear Comic Collectibles. But for the most part, this setup here, in terms of the cost performance, I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to continue to invest in this setup rather than try to build out the collective. What is it? The comic. I'm forgetting the name now. Clear capsules. The comic clear capsules. Or comic capsules, I guess. I'm also watching the Packers-Eagles game. My fantasy team is doing pretty well. I can go over my team. I was number 1 pick in my draft, so I picked up Christian McCaffrey, of course, with the first pick. And I'll just go down the list from quarterback to my entire team. I got Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Ladd McConkey. So I am all in on Ladd McConkey, and I think his value here is going to win me this league, because where I drafted him, I pretty much got him pretty late in the draft, and I am anticipating him having like a breakout, where you're talking about like 1,000-yard season, at least 10 to 12 touchdowns. That's what I'm anticipating from him. If that doesn't happen, I mean, we still got some backup contingency plans, but that one player is, I think, what's going to win me. Maybe I'm putting too much stock in him, but I really think he's going to break out and be a star player in the league. We've got Deebo Samuel. We've got Devonta Smith, Mark Andrews. He didn't play well. I'm kind of worried about that pick, because I did kind of pull him up. There are better players I could have got, but I went specifically for tight end, and that might have been an error. But we'll see. It's just week 1. I know he's coming off a car accident, so maybe he's missed a couple practices and just slow to warm up. But if he has, it looks like they have a younger guy there who's, I forget his name, Jerome Hill or something like that. But they have a younger guy there that looks like could take over the position, and then they would, probably trade Mark Andrews or ship him off somewhere, I would imagine. And then we got Jordan Mason. I have him in the lineup only because Christian McCaffrey's questionable, but we got the Cowboys defense and then the Detroit Lions kicker. And my bench, so the flex, I would normally have Deontay Johnson in my flex position or Tyjae Spears. Those are my two sort of. I also have Darnell Mooney. I'm expecting a big season from him. This is my bench. And then the other guys, Kirk Cousins as backup quarterback, and Rashad Bateman, sort of the second wideout there in Baltimore. He had a rather quiet game yesterday, so I'm glad I benched him. But yeah, next week I'll probably start Deontay Johnson and Tyjae Spears in place of some of the guys I have in there right now. And I need to probably pick up a backup tight end from the waiver wire who's halfway decent. It's going to at least get me 6 fantasy points per week. But that's it. That is pretty much my fantasy team. And I'm in it in a money league. I don't know how I got talked into doing a money league, but I've been kind of rusty for fantasy football. I haven't done fantasy football in like over a decade. I think when the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl last, the Super Bowl during the Sean Alexander. Was it Matt Castle? Those days. Or no, not Matt Castle. What's his name? I'm for blanking on the quarterback's name. Matt Hasselbeck. That was like so long ago. I'm forgetting the players' names. That was, I think, the last time I did fantasy football, around that period, which is like, over a decade ago. Well over a decade ago, almost 15 years ago. And so it's been fun though. I had fun in the draft, and my team's not doing horrible. I got the production out of Devontae Smith I needed. So I'm in good shape. I think right now in the matchup, I'm still 50-50 in terms of projections, but we shall see. I was kind of hoping for Devontae Smith to score a touchdown, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. What is happening here? Is there like a timeout? Kind of stuck in the red zone, Philadelphia. 4th and goal. Oh my gosh. Are they going to go for it with there's 30 seconds left. So the game's over. Yeah. They try to punch it in, but I'm sure they'll take a knee and let the clock run out. Or just kick a field goal. 30 seconds. Anyway, it looks like Philadelphia won, unless there's a miracle. Devontae Smith, 11.9 fantasy points for me. That's not bad. It's what we were hoping he'd do. And it's not like he caught a lot of passes, but he did pick up like 79 yards. What do you have here? 84 yards on 7 receptions. Actually, that's pretty good. 7 receptions is kind of where we expected him to be. If he can add a couple more yards each week and a touchdown here and there, I think we're good. They were playing against a tough Green Bay defense too. Although they've been scoring a lot of points. I don't know if it's the new NFL rule changes, but the first 2 games have been kind of high scoring, which is, I guess, good for fantasy football and good for the league overall. But all right, I don't want to get into football. This is not a football show. It's a comic book show. But you kind of see I'm not as focused on comic books these days. I feel like my collection's in a really good place. Obviously, there are a lot of books that I still want and want to pick up, but I'm coming to the realization now that there's no point. There's no point in trying to pick up everything. Even though I have a 5-book haul here, and there are some books in here that I shouldn't have picked up. Some I really wanted to pick up. Others, just the value warranted the pickup. But I think this is going to be the finale of the summer. Well, it is the finale of the summer because we're technically heading into fall. And I've got about $290 left in my summer budget. Right? Yeah. $290 left in my summer budget, which I'm just going to let my wife absorb. I'm not planning to go to any comic book shows this fall. As fun as that would be, and obviously we want the Joker, Batman 251, Neil Adams book. I don't think 290 would. I'm sure we could get it for like 250 somewhere in the grade that we want, but that's a stretch. I'm not going to run around Tacoma and like Vancouver to try and do it. I could technically pick it up probably right now, like a 3.0 copy. I got an offer for like $220 for a 3.0 copy, but with shipping and tax and all that, it ends up being like closer to $250 and or $260. And for a 3.0 copy, it has too many issues for me to. It's in a slab, Not that I don't mind slabs, but I just feel like I'd rather get it raw than, pay the slab tax. Like a 3.0 raw, probably I could get it for like 200, right? Whereas here, 220 is not bad, but again, with the shipping and everything, it really ends up not being kind of worth it. So I think my best bet is just going to be to pick up at a show sometime, and we're not really prioritizing it anymore. Maybe next summer if I end up being here, we will entertain the whole summer thing again. I really want to kind of pare down my collection. I might sell off some stuff. The stuff that that's just accumulated. And the thing is, like, I don't like selling it because I don't get great value from, like, if I have a $10 book and I was expecting to sell it for $10, I'm oftentimes having to sell it for a couple dollars. And I just don't like doing that. And I'll just keep it in a box, like under my bed if I have to, and just let it. Not that everything's going to accrue value. I think it's just going to stay stagnant. Dollar books, $3 books are going to remain dollar books, $3 books, probably until I die. So a lot of this stuff here, it's really about selling it, timing. When things start picking up, you can probably sell for $3 or $5, get the full value, or just under the full value when it's picking up and getting hot. I do have a lot of keys though. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of keys in there. So, I've always imagined myself in retirement, kind of just going, around and to these like shows, maybe getting a table just to hang out and selling this stuff off, maybe making some money on the side in retirement, but just getting more into like maybe buying and selling and pressing and cleaning and doing all that in retirement when I have a lot of time, and maybe these books are worth a lot more. My collection is worth a lot more at that time. So yeah, I've had fun amassing all these books, but I think I've come to a point now, especially with this pickup here's really kind of like taken the wind out of like the drive to pick up more stuff. I just feel like, like what I have right here and what I picked up this summer, what I have in the collection is really incredible. It's a great collection, and I don't, obviously I could pick up more stuff, more valuable stuff, and just pursue it to no end. But I think it's a nice, we've been in this since 2020 ish. Yeah, late 2020 is when we got back into collecting. And I think, again, we'll continue. I'm not gonna like stop. I've slowed down. We're stopping for the summer. I'll probably just do like half price books hauls from here on out, things that are in the neighborhood that I can do. I can't like drive everywhere, obviously, with my family here. So whatever I find at half price books, I'm really like, even at half price books, I'm just leaving a lot of stuff there now. It's not, I don't feel motivated to pick up stuff, even if they do have a little bit of value or something I want. That was the case today. Like, I just like I was just thinking like, we're only gonna pick up stuff that adds value or something I want. And that's kind of what we did. But I don't anticipate me doing that all that often through the winter. So again, you're probably seeing the last haul video of the year. If I do pick up stuff here and there, I won't, technically call it a haul. I'll just show it off, whatever I picked up. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And in terms of the Jim Lee collection, we are at, I think, 380. we're at 380 something, 385, I want to say. Let's take a look. We're at 385. Yeah, we're at 385. So I think a good place to stop for the Jim Lee collection is book 400. There's not a lot of stuff, even the stuff that's coming out right now, I don't feel a drive to pick that stuff up. If anything, with the last 15 books, I'll probably focus on sort of higher end books, things that are like maybe like, I know I want his Jim Lee Deadpool variant. That's one thing I want to pick up. That'll probably drop in price now that the Deadpool movie's like gone. And then another one I want to pick up is his first art and comic books for Samurai Santa. That's like a $50 book. That'll probably go up though if I'm not careful. I gotta pick it up soon because I just have a feeling it's gonna go up. I know a lot of collectors value it and they sell it for higher than 50, but I had an opportunity to buy it in Canada for 50 and 50 Canadian. I probably should have done that. But yeah, no rush on that. That I imagine that's gonna happen. If we do this next summer. The thing is, next summer I am planning to go with my family to Japan and visit Korea, my parents in Korea, and I'm planning to do that next summer. And while my wife and son will remain in Japan, I'm only out there really for like maybe 2 weeks at most, and I'll come back. So I want to spend like about a week in Korea, a week in Japan, and then head back. And I'm going to pick up so much stuff in Japan. When I'm in Akihabara, I'm just like in like super nerd mode, and I pick up toys and figures, stuff from there, not stuff they sell here. So, yeah, I mean, I doubt when I come back from Japan with all that good stuff, I doubt I'll have any budget unless I start work and do that whole cycle again, which isn't out of the question. Obviously when I get back from Japan, I want to go early and then just come back and enjoy the summer, kind of like I did this year, and maybe give myself just a very limited budget to just pick up again, I don't want to work and spend like I did this year. We spent almost $3,000 on comic books, close to 3,000 on comic books this summer, and I definitely don't want to do that next year. If anything, like I'll give myself maybe a budget of 500, and we'll go around and hunt for stuff, but it's really got to be focused. Like maybe we'll do the Canada show again with 500, something along those lines, but it's going to be focused, and it's going to pick up some of the key Jim Lee stuff and the key stuff that we're wanting to add to the collection, the Neil Adams book included. So next summer should be fun. It's going to be just a muted version of the previous 2 summers, but really that's 2025 is when I will say we're done, and we're gonna hold off on adding more books or doing anything until my until I'm retired, until I like have time to do it. I'm just gonna really take a big step back. I'm still gonna enjoy comic books and the community, and I'm probably gonna still check Instagram and do all that stuff. But in terms of budgeting and focusing on what to pick up and add to the collection and all that, that's kind of dying with this haul video. So let's get to the haul video, okay? And I know I've been saying that for a while, and while at the same time I'm showing off books and buying books every week. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, right, Otaku. You talk a good game, but you're hooked, and you're not going to be able to break the cycle of hoarding and collecting these books. And a part of me like agrees that it's a real I do love comic books, and you know I do want to pick. If I had an infinite amount of, I saw a post on social media that was saying like, you know, when you hear someone say, "Who spends $1,000 on a comic book?" Now I've never done that, but I definitely would. I definitely would spend $1,000 on a comic book. I've never done it. I was ready to do it this summer, but I got too caught up on buying little stuff, which is fine. I got a lot of the stuff I wanted. But yeah, I mean, I do see books out there that are, several thousands of dollars, and you dream of picking that stuff up. So I do, yeah, I do want to do that, but I also want not to be, I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to like struggle to make a living and all that. So yeah, for me, it's just a hobby, and it's done me well these past couple of years, especially with my mental health and like doing things with the community here through this channel. Thank you guys for watching and just following me on this journey, because I really feel like it's been a journey. It's been a journey to kind of help me manage a lot of the stress in my life. It's also helped me enjoy reconnecting with a lot of these books from my collecting past, and just finding a new level of appreciation for collecting. The hobby's come a long way with like slabbing, the focus on grading, all the speculation with the pop culture news that comes out, this cycle of movies and pop culture news that spikes books up and spikes demand and supply and all that. So yeah, it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun, and so this last haul video is going to kind of show you a little bit of the remnants. These are all modern books, by the way. And I don't normally pick up modern books, but I think it's very telling that I like that the fact that these are out of my collecting focus is just some of these books I just really want, and a lot of it, some of it's just cool. I think I think every book in here is very cool, and you guys are going to see what I mean. So we're going to start with this one. This is the book that I paid for the most. I had a $4.99 price sticker at Half Price Books. It's a $10 book, so and I actually had this book and I sold it, and I felt bad about it because I'm like, man, though, this is a great Jim Lee homage. It's nice to pair with the actual X-Men 265, is it? And I thought, why did I do that? Why did I sell something that I liked? So I got it back. Clean copy here. Paid $5 for it. Again, this Marvel Zombies homage of Jim Lee's Uncanny X-Men 258. I want to say it's 258. No, it's not 258. What is it? It's 265. Yeah, this is 265. I'm pretty sure it's 265. All right, next book, half a cover on the rest of these. We picked up the New Avengers Illuminati. I just like this Jim Cheung cover. of really random selection of Marvel characters here. But yeah, great cover art. This is a key book. It's an $8 book. Picked it up for what, $1.50. It's in mint condition, so that was kind of like a no-brainer. All these were no-brainers, and just like, yeah, let's pick it up. I have money in my pocket. This is a cover. I just think this is the dopest cover, and yeah, it's just an incredible Alex Ross cover here, and that is Secret Wars #4. I mean, Doom's hot right now. Again, got this for half a cover. And this is one we've been meaning to pick up before the whole Doom boom. I was just like, I had the free preview version. I still think I have it, and I had the preview version of this of Secret Wars. They put this cover on that preview before the #1 issue came out, because they were teasing this cover. They're just like, and I think this is, to be honest, like the best cover in the whole series, because it's just God Emperor Doom with what looks to be Sue Richard clones or something, and that looks to be either Reed Richards or Doctor Strange or somebody, but they're all like at court and like servicing him or serving him at some level. So that was a cool pickup. And then of course, adjacent to it was #5. And I said, well, if we're gonna pick that one up, we gotta pick this one up. This is just probably the second coolest cover in the series. You just got like two really dope ass covers. And this is the book that was this was an Easter egg in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. But yeah, it's a really intense cover there. That eye and the teeth. That's just incredible. That is incredible stuff by Alex Ross. So yeah, these are just no-brain cover buys essentially. And then this one was sitting in there, lo and behold. It was sitting in there raw, and it had an issue. It had a bent corner, like the corner was raised and bent. I put it down, but again, for $2, I just couldn't leave it there. It's too big of a book, and I could probably sell it for like 20 or something. I mean, outside of the crease, it's a really well presenting book. You know, put it a VF copy if it didn't have VF Plus if it didn't have the corner crease, but it has a corner crease. I'm going to show you the crease. Nice clean crease, just sitting in there raw at half price books with the crease in there. I bent it. I brought it home, put it bag and board. So this is the first. It's Darth Vader #3. It's the first appearance of Captain what's her face, Captain Afra, and yeah, there's all the rumors are that she's going to show up. I think she's going to probably show up in the Mandalorian movie. That's just my theory. I know she didn't show up in any of the other stuff that people have been waiting on. I haven't read this book, so I really don't know much about the character, but I do know that this is a pricey book. It's $100 book in high grade. I would even with the crease, I'd say it's like a fine copy. Yeah, I'd put out a fine, yeah, just at a fine, maybe fine plus even. It just really is. Again, it's just that one corner crease that everything else looks really fabulous on this. So yeah, sure somebody will want it, even with a little defect there. know it's a hard book to pick up and find. It's a great cover. It really is a great character, great first appearance cover, I guess. On any first appearance, if they're on the cover, kind of makes the book, right? You don't have this like debate, first cover appearance, first appearance, and all that jive and garbage. All right, so that's that. And the last thing I wanted to I know I showed this off earlier, but I just want to kind of do a deep dive into it. We picked up this great figure, and the more and more I look at this figure and have this figure, the more and more I fall in love with what it is. It's the iconic pose here on Spider-Man 300 and 301. This is so I should say 301. 300 is the black suit. 301 is the classic suit. And Todd always wanted to bring Spider-Man back to the classic look. He kind of took over during the heyday of the black suit, and he was like hell-bent on taking that symbiote suit off of Peter Parker, letting it live somewhere else, and returning Peter to his classic look. And that's what we got in this sort of this, from 301 on. Venom, though, and that's the thing, like Todd created Venom with David Michelinie, and the rest is history, right? It was just like Venom is his own superhero at this point. And Venom's sort of arch nemesis is Carnage, and that's kind of where Venom lives. He's in that space where he's not really a bad guy, he's not really a good guy, but he is motivated to destroy larger evil forces that are hell bent on destruction. So, but anyway, yeah, this is just. I mean, when you get right now, it's just that's a weird position to look at the statue, but when you get him right at the right, which is right around there, when you get him at the right angle, it's the comic book cover, man. It's that comic book cover. So, I know all of you nerds who are watching this channel right now, and I'm showing this off, and you're looking at it. I know you want to go pick it up. I know. And if you don't, then I don't know. There's something wrong with you. But I know this is going to, just looking at that right there, pay $55 for that, which is, it's going to be, I mean, unless Todd, so this, it's a Todd McFarlane, it's a Todd, what is it called? It's a McFarlane Toys offering. It was just released this summer. And it's hard to find these days. I know there were there were figures here and there at Target, and I'm sure there's a gajillion of them across Target stores and toy stores and Walmarts and wherever you're going to find collectibles like this. Sure, there's a lot of them out there, and that people are picking them up, and maybe they're not as rare. But at some point, Todd's going to stop producing them. And I don't know what the initial production run was, but Todd's not the kind of person to be because, these are key understands, these are collectibles. So if he just flooded the market because people want them, he knows that affects future launches of toys and whatnot. So not every toy is going to sell out or become a high price collectible, but that one, I have a feeling once this initial run comes out, he'll probably do a second run, a second print or whatever, where there's more supply. But yeah, after that, the well's going to run dry, right? And then collectors are going to be scrambling to buy this online and do it that way. But yeah, if you see it at Target, pick it up for $50 while you can, because I think at some point when you want it down the road, the supply is just not going to be there. It's just going to be sitting in collectors' rooms, being enjoyed, and then you're just going to have to find some reseller who's going to jack up the price, and sell it to you for like $100 or whatever. So get it now. Save yourself heartache and overpaying for something. It's always hard when you don't get the thing when it first comes out, and then when you're trying to buy it later, it's not available, or it's on eBay for 2, 3, 10 times the price. All right, so that is it. Rather short video. I'm gonna kind of have some nice, nightcap. Have some alcohol. Get some alcohol in my system, and then get to bed early so that I can reunite with the family coming back. It's gonna be fun. So, thanks for watching. You probably won't see me for a while. That doesn't mean I'm like, doesn't mean anything. I'm just, again, like I said, I'm just take a break. That includes the channel. That includes doing all this stuff. I'll pop it in here and there, if I have something to say, or if I want to show off some books or grade books, and, just chit chat, or, get stuff off my chest, I guess. That's kind of what I view the channel as now. It's like, just, I pretty much, it's not going to be haul video focused anymore. It's more going to be focused on, just maybe talking about pop culture stuff. I know Superman movie's coming up. Maybe we'll deep dive into Superman. Just talking about artists, characters, maybe even reading books and talking about what I thought of the book or whatever. But got a lot of stuff to just kind of manage and enjoy right now, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, like, for me, just like picking up a book like this and just looking at the cover art. That's kind of where I get my joy from these books. What's up? What's up, fanboy? How you doing, man? Oh, it's been a fun summer. School start for you guys back down there? It's been, it's winding down here. Summer, I think today's officially the end of summer, because once my wife gets back. Oh, how was it? Beetlejuice. That looks really funny. I would imagine they put a lot of thought into that. Tim Burton's back. Yeah, I'm sure. It looks enjoyable. Michael Keaton's just so. I mean, he's what was that? It's been like 30 years since he played that role, but when I watched the trailer, he didn't miss a beat. It's like it's him. It's Beetlejuice, right? It's just like when he's in the costume and everything. It's like, it's like he didn't miss a step. So, okay, yeah, but okay. Who knows? We'll probably, if it's a big success, I'm sure we'll probably see another installment of Beetlejuice. But that's great. I've been meaning to, I really want to watch that Christopher Reeve documentary. It looks really good. I really want to watch it. It's just that with the family coming back, I just don't know. My wife doesn't want to watch it. My kid's too young. So I just don't know how I'm going to have an opportunity to watch it. Maybe I'll go, take a weekend off or an afternoon off just to go watch it by myself. But yeah, the trailer, just what I really love about the documentary and the upcoming movie, and I'm sure you share my sentiment, is it's bringing focus back to Christopher Reeve, because you have a lot of young people who've never watched the movie, and that to me is like a crime. It's a shame. How can you forget this great performance? It's like sitting there at a library, or it's sitting there at your bookstore for you to just buy. Like, I think Superman 1 DVD would cost you like $2, right? At Half Price Books or somewhere. Add that to your DVD collection and keep it there, or get a Blu-ray copy or whatever. But it is such a classic movie, well acted. And again, I watched that thing when I was 5 years old, somewhere around there. 4 or 5. I was really young when I watched it, and I came out of that movie just like, I mean, that was my guy. Superman was, and it's remained that way. I've always loved Superman just from that early introduction to him, and I still love Superman to this day. So, yeah. So I really want to watch the documentary, but what I'm really appreciative of is that this documentary is bringing that story of Christopher Reeve, who played Superman, but he also endured a lot in his life because of an accident. And, I know a lot of people know that story, but they don't know it in full. Even myself. I just know, he's been in Smallville. I know he has the foundation to help people with paralysis and find, do research that can lead to cures for paralysis. But and then he died, and his wife died rather young, and it's really tragic. So it's a tragic story. It's a tragic story, but the legacy he leaves behind is it's a Superman legacy. It really is a Superman legacy. And it's just ironic that he played a character who he embodied in real life. He was a real life Superman in that instance. And yeah, that trailer was very emotional. And I imagine that documentary is just like, there's not going to be a dry eye in the house from the get-go. I mean, it's just so heartwarming and inspiring that this man would dedicate his life to a cause and do it through adversity and with a lot of grace and poise. And yeah, definitely. I love Christopher Reeve. I honestly believe he's the best Superman. He's the gold standard Superman. And, his character, he was cast based on the artwork from Neil Adams. Neil Adams was his images, his books and comic books were the gold standard at the time. And I know the director, he was focused on casting somebody who fit the mold of what you saw in comic books, just a very physically gifted, somebody with a lot of charisma, somebody who had the spit curl look and everything just down pat. And they got the suit right. They got everything right in that first movie. That's the suit. To be honest, that's the suit I wanted to see come back in this James Gunn version. And he did kind of compromise. He didn't give us the suit exactly, put a modern take on it, but he did compromise. He kept the underpants on. He put the yellow Kryptonian symbol, the S symbol on the cape, the boots, red boots and all that. So everything looks good. It's just a little, the cut and everything is a little different. The material's not what was in the 70s suit. So I'm not hating on James Gunn at all. I'm just saying, like, I don't mind you bringing back a guy that looks like Christopher Reeve in the Christopher Reeve suit and just remaking that movie for a new audience. I know Gunn is not going to do that, but I'm almost like, let's just let's just bring back that original score and script, the screenplay, and just add younger actors and just keep it going from there. You can build off whatever that brings you. That will be a success. Just to rehash it for a new generation and then get the ball rolling on a new set of stories. But I'm not the studio exec. I don't make the calls, but I trust James Gunn's not going to mess it up, and hopefully this marks a reversal of sort of fortunes for DC, and we'll see more cool DC content. Yeah, like a DC universe type situation where everybody's connected and all that. We want to see the DCU surpass the MCU in this cycle, and so lots riding on James Gunn to make that happen. And I think, yeah, that studio logo, man, that was a good call. That was I mean, that was the call that you needed to make, right? Going just back to the bullet logo. I don't know, because the bullet logo is a relatively new. It's not the classic DC logo, right? It's gone through many iterations, but when they introduced it, that was my collecting era. The bullet logo was my collecting era, and that's all I knew of DC since I can remember. And when they changed it, it was like, all right, that's cool, but it didn't look as nice. But the bullet logo, they brought that back. So happy. Absolutely iconic. Couldn't agree more. All right, well, thanks for hanging out, fanboy. I'm gonna just kind of call it a night tonight and rest up. I got a big day tomorrow, so yeah. Don't know when I'm going to be back on the channel, but I imagine it won't be too long. And when I do come back on, I will stick to talking about comic books or showing off books or doing something, but it's not going to be haul videos from here on out. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm going to step back from picking up books and step back from hauling stuff. So yeah, when I do see you, you'll see me in a different capacity, or the channel will take a different direction in terms of what you've been accustomed to. All right. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care.